Have you ever built a model and you're trying to get a glossy finish, and the best you can get is a hillbilly driveway Texas pickup truck finish like this out of a rattle can? But you really want this? Stick around and I'm going to show you how it's done.
My name is Eric Strebel. Welcome to my channel about product design and making.
Hey, did you know that my longtime sponsor, PCBWay, now offers 3D printing services? Yeah, they totally do. And the parts are really good. Just as good as any of the domestic manufacturers, as a matter of fact.
Many of the parts in this project were actually printed by PCBWay. They have a multitude of printing processes and materials to choose from. Click the link in the description below to learn more about how PCBWay can help you with your next 3D printed project. Use a quality primer for building up some primer on your 3D printed parts. I'm using a rattle can primer and it should be available from most good automotive retail establishments. You want to lay down several coats of primer so that you have plenty of primer to sand out the build marks of your parts. Start your wet sanding with 220 grit. This will keep the dust down and keep you safe. Next, you're going to wet sand with 320 grit. Wet sand with 400 grit. Always use a sanding block. Finally, you're going to finish with 600 grit wet dry sandpaper. Again, wet sanded, and you're using a sanding block. Now prep your parts, attach them to something so that you can paint them and have good access to the parts. Here I'm taping the parts onto a stick with some tape. This part needs to have the back edge painted, so we're going to hot glue it onto a stick so we can paint the front and the back at the same time. Prep your part by cleaning it with wax and grease remover. This is a soy-based solvent and will remove any fingerprints or grease on the part so you get good adhesion with your paint. Also, you want to clean your parts with a tack cloth afterwards, so if there's any dust in the air, it doesn't settle into your base coat. I'm using a glossy duplicolor acrylic lacquer black rattle can, and notice how I'm staying in the duplicolor family so all the products work together. You're going to give the first coat a nice light coat. This is just some paint on your part to get some decent adhesion for the final second coat. So here I'm laying down the second coat, and it's a little bit heavier, but I'm making sure not to get any runs. You'll see at first you won't have such a great finish, but as the paint flows out, the finish will improve. I'll follow the same process for the other parts, a light first coat, and then a little bit heavier second coat, and this will give me a good coat of my base color, no matter what color it is. It never fails, no matter how good your prep is, you always seem to get some sort of a blemish in your base coat. But no worries, we'll take care of this. The key to getting a good glossy finish is a good two-part urethane top coat clear. I load the clear into my Graco Finex HVLP gun with a 1mm tip. Again, the first coat is light, just like we did the base coat, and then I'm coming back and I'm pretty much flow coating the top clear coat, so pretty heavy. Again, that base coat is there to give some adhesion, and then I come back with that second coat and I really lay it on pretty heavy, and I let that clear just flow out.
Straight off the clear, but you can see there's some imperfections there, so let's sand them out. All right. Simple 1000, nice and wet. That's why it's called wet sand. 1000, and you can see we still got a couple little low spots here, but we're getting it to be nice and flat. That's what we want. Yeah, that's pretty good. A couple little tiny little spots there, but that's nothing. That's nothing. Okay, that's pretty flat right there. That's what we want. $2,000. You'll see there'll actually be some sheen or a little shine on here, even though it's just sanded. Can you see that? There's a little bit of a reflection starting to come in there. Look at that.
51056 purple polish. This is the key to getting your mirror finish.
Think it's easy doing one night stands. Playing in a rock roll band. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll.
The purple polish is the polishing medium that you're going to use, and you're going to use a foam pad. The friction from the foam pad is going to create that polish, but it's also going to create a little bit of heat and warmth, and that's going to help you polish your part to a mirror finish just like this.
There's 4,000.
In case you were wondering what would happen if you went beyond the 3,000 and sanded to a 4,000
Still
finish.
pretty shiny. Nothing, not a big change. 3,000 here, 4,000. Not too much of a change, really.
I happen to have some 5,000 grit sandpaper. Yes, they do make 5,000 grit. We can sand with that and see what results we get.
And really nothing much gained here by going to the 5,000. You can go there, but
let's polish it up. It's going to polish up just like when we sanded with 3,000 grit, but it's not worth going that far. Let's recap this project. You're going to apply your primer, and you're always going to wet sand with a sanding block so that you get Class A finish. You're going to apply base coat and a good clear coat, sand that out so you can polish it and get this mirror finish and truly get a glossy, successful part. Good luck. Again, I want to say thanks to our sponsor, PCB Way. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Links in the description below and on the channel page. Rock on. Don't forget to check out the t-shirts and hoodies in the merch shelf below. Click here to check out some of the other design and making videos that I have that you might enjoy.